Fight this.
3, 2, 1.
Good evening. It's Bill from the Court Insider.
I'm Doug from the Court Insider.
Well, tonight was really an interesting meeting. A lot of the members have taken the time to look on our Kawartha taxpayers site and reviewed the council meetings that took place on Thursday, especially the information that was provided to the council on the by the Integrity Commissioner and from the Municipality of Municipal Affairs. Those three people were really informative, eh, Doug?
Very much so. Yep. They showed the council and mayor how they should react and act to the public, and how they should be responsible to the taxpayer, and the results of if they are not.
And what was even more sort of shocking to us, was we go to the council meeting, we look at the agenda that night for on Thursday, February the 2nd, and we see that they've got her loaded up with 3 other presentations. They're all asking for millions and hundreds of thousands of dollars of taxpayers' money. And of course, when it became our turn to talk, the whole mood changed. They weren't bubbly and happy and thanking people for doing the presentation. They were the very opposite.
In other words, they were allowed to talk for some time, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We were allowed 5 minutes, and it was stipulated that only 5 minutes was allowed to.
Oh, yeah. And then they would stop if we went over the 5 minutes to end your presentation or your address to council. What was even more disgusting was that Mayor Emsley and the council were informed very clearly from the Integrity Commissioner.
And, throughout, I'm going to try it from here in to give you some examples or things that I have seen. And one of the areas where we're talking about conducting themselves with integrity, courtesy, respectability, respecting individual rights, values, beliefs, and personality traits of any other person. People come to council, as you're no doubt aware, to make depositions, and sometimes you're going to hear things that you don't agree with, and unless those things are defamatory or just over the line generally, deponents are entitled to their 5 minutes. I had a case in another municipality where a particular member didn't like what was being said and demanded that the person leave. And they turned off her microphone and out she went. And it was simply a matter of not respecting a person's individual rights, values, and beliefs. So while you may not agree, you must allow those folks to have their 5 minutes. And oftentimes I see complaints that people came to council, they made their deposition, and no one really paid attention. Side conversations were going on. And those are kind of the areas that you want to pay particular attention to and avoid complaints.
That when people from the public that pay the taxes come to council to address council, it's their 5 minutes. And regardless whether you like what they have to say, you show them respect. And what happened into my presentation, I just got going maybe a minute and a half. Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity, Mr. Mayor, Council, and staff. I'm with the Kawartha Lakes Taxpayers Association. I'm the president. And I don't want you to take what I have to say personal. It's a message from our members. What I've done is I've prepared what would have been the written submission. But based on what I've witnessed tonight so far, I'm going to move off of that. I was here today, as you all know, when the Municipal Affairs inform the council of your duties and your responsibilities. Under what I call the Bible, the Municipal Act, there's a number of acts that deal with the authority of what you operate under. This is the main one. And what we've seen in the course of since you've been elected, a lot of, we'll call them mistakes. We've tried to enlighten you by
I'm going to interrupt you, Mr. Denby. You're here to make a deputation.
And I am
on
making a deputation.
2023 budget.
I'm going to get in.
Very far afield.
Hey, you remember today what the integrity commissioner said to you? It's my 5 minutes.
It is your 5 minutes.
And I'm going to get to the 2023 budget.
Thank you.
I'm just giving you a little preamble. So, in the Municipal Act, it lays out very clearly that a municipality cannot inflict additional tax increases on a municipality and its taxpayers when we're in a recession or we're under distress financially. Unless you're awake and you go outside in the real world where people go to work and they earn their money and they pay taxes every week, they can't afford any more taxes at the municipal level, at the provincial level, or the federal level. So what we've made it very clear in all our communications with you. We've invited you out a number of times to meet with our members. You've never showed up. Never showed up. We're not good enough for you to meet. We're taxpayers. What I'm telling you right now is very clear. If you pass the 2023 budget as proposed, you'll find yourself in court very fast. Thank you. Any questions?
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Are there any questions for Mr. Denby? I see none. Thank you for your deputation.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion to receive the deputation from Mr. Denby?
And, Mr. Mayor, I will make sure Kathy gets these so that she gives each one of you a copy of it.
Thank you.
It's all in the deputation. After listening to the other 3 people that were asked to come in by council to beg for money, taxpayers' money, they were given an hour and a half. The one person went over 40 minutes. And then at the end said, gee, I'd really like your $250,000. It would just push us over the top. And it would make us much easier then to get funding, more funding. So I had pre-rambled a little bit to give them a little bit of background and whatnot. And the next thing I know, Mayor Emsley interjects, as you would have seen in the video from the council that was recorded. So from that, I've filed a complaint with the Integrity Commissioner. I filed it on Friday, February the 3rd. You have to first send it to the clerks, Kathy Ritchie, and then it's her responsibility to forward it onto the Integrity Commissioner. I also sent a copy of it directly to the Integrity Commissioner's office because that's serious. When you have a mayor that's been on council the number of years he has been, he was just given a talk to from the municipal affairs on their role and their responsibility under the Municipal Act.
A particular member didn't like what was being said and demanded that the person leave. And they turned off her microphone and out she went. And it was simply a matter of not respecting a person's individual rights, values, and beliefs. So while you may not agree, you must allow those folks to have their 5 minutes.
And the Integrity Commissioner spent a lot of time, Doug?
Yeah, very much.
Going over role of council and how they are actually very respectful and accountable to the taxpayers. And to have a mayor do what he did and how they reacted to all of our speakers, it wasn't a very, you could feel the tension in the room. That, what are you doing here? You have no business addressing council. You certainly have no business telling us anything. you're there to do one thing. We send you a tax bill, pay it. And in our view, it's time to stand up for the taxpayers, the businesses, and the people that are on fixed income, our seniors.
Okay,
And this
you
is-
have 5 minutes.
Okay, this is going to be less than 5 minutes. This is on a little different note. My name is Mirka Kriska, and I live at 33 Weldon Road, Lindsay. I am 78 years old and also a widow. I'm on my own water well, and I do not need any water from the city. I do not want any water from the city, and I do not get any water from the city. Yet I'm billed every 3 months $50 for mandatory connection fee. They threatened me that they put lien on my house if I don't pay it. And given my age and my circumstances, I cannot fight this at the court. At this point, I paid $1,053.57 for the water. If I charge somebody for services not rendered, I'm going to be charged with fraud. This is fraud. This is wrong and this is illegal. And now I would like to know if, okay, under what authority anybody does charge me this fee, this service fee? I would like to know. Also, I would like to get my money back if possible. I cannot afford this. Thank you.
Just people within the city that have a busy life, and it's our responsibility, Doug, on their behalf to take whatever action we need to, which we will do. We've put them on notice a number of times. We did it again in the council meeting, and we'll continue to attend every council meeting. Now tonight, Doug, there's a pile of paper we've got left here from members.
We got some paperwork from the members here, quite a few pieces of legislation and so on, where people are being billed for water that they're not hooked up to.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for being able to speak tonight, council, and members of the staff and public. My name's Doug Shaw. I'm the president of the Coalition Against Unlawful Water Billing. Marika is one of my members. There's many other members that are being charged for a service not rendered. And we have fought this thing for 3 years. We've asked, we pleaded, we went to your council, okay, and went and asked for these charges to be dropped. We've been nice. We've been very patient. We waited 6 months from the Robinson report, and we ended up with nothing from our lawyer. I don't think our lawyer even got it. Okay, so here we are. I'm asking again that you drop these municipal charges. Marika is not the only one that has been put into distress. There's been other members that are aged, okay, and they're in a position where they were actually put in a position where somebody came to their door and said that they were going to foreclose on their house. This is illegal. This is a fraudulent act. Okay, I have asked the RCMP, okay, what they thought. I asked the OPP what they thought. Both said the same thing. It's wide open for investigation. My lawyer will do that investigation. And if we have to, we'll charge the city for all the consequences. Another thing, the Integrity Commissioner was in today talking about things that happen. Without my consent, the Industrial Properties Division of this City of Kawartha Lakes put my farm up for sale without my consent. This is breach of confidentiality. because all my information was put across a website without my consent. Okay? This is means for a very, very serious lawsuit. Now, I'm asking for my privacy back. I'm asking for no intimidation. I was not asked anything to do with the situation with Mr. Flatto, okay, who put an MZO across the back part of my property. It makes it very difficult for me to farm and produce food for the public. Even the public here has to eat every day. Okay, I'm an experienced farmer. I moved from Markham for expropriation. This is just another member of expropriation. Okay, and I'll make it very difficult for Mr. Flatto, and I have every right to. Because other area farmers, okay, we pay taxes. We have the right to farm. We have the right to produce food as oilseed producers in this country. And we have a very large standing of farmers behind us. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We'll see if there's any questions for you.
I'd like to ask one more thing. This is a municipal act, okay? There's operations in this municipal act against billing for water that you're not hooked up to. My father gave me when I was 16 this book. It's called You and the Law. This is the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. There's against the Charter of Rights and Freedoms to charge for services not rendered. That means that any law in this country is broken. Because you know what? Somebody can come up to you and say, you know what? You owe me money. There is no legal contract. There is nothing to bind the contract. These people that have never signed a contract with the city of Kawartha Lakes, they were just billed for water. In my case, I had 2 municipal people come up to my back or up to my front and walk around on private property without my consent, which is against the law, and look for a water shut off. I have 3 adequate wells. I'm not hooked on to water or sewers. I'll give you one little unsaid. I was there when the pipe was put in for the fire protection of the 2 parking lots for the front part of the jail. I was part of that process. I was part of the process of bringing the jail here. It was a provincial project to have that pipe put in there. Municipal Act states that it's against the law to charge for a provincially funded asset. Right in this law book right here. How many other people in the city of Kawartha Lakes are being charged for services, okay, that were provincially funded? The RCMP will, if I ask them, they will do an investigation and there could be charges. Thank you for your time.
I'll see if there are any questions for you. Are there any questions for Mr. Shaw? Seeing none, could I have a motion to receive the deputation? Councillor Smeaton, Councillor Ashmore.
This is against the law. There is no legal contract, no stipulation. Basically, some people have been intimidated and put under duress to pay these bills. And unfortunately, in some cases, they have had some mental illnesses because of this. This is a very serious action, and there will be consequences if the city of Kawartha Lakes doesn't drop these water billings in the future.
I mean, tonight it's sad to listen to the stories that the stress that they've been put under. Seniors, I mean, they break down and they cry to you. Please help, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah,
you're
elderly people that are vulnerable.
Yeah,
and in some cases, collection agencies and so on, real estate agents have come up and said, basically we are going to be measuring up your house and putting it up for sale.
Yep.
This is illegal.
To threaten.
To lever the people to
Yep.
pay their water bill and threaten them.
Yeah. And the other thing, what we're finding too, is we had a lot of people out tonight that aren't getting services in way of the roads being looked after, maintained in the wintertime nor the summer. Yet they're being charged in the neighborhood of $4,000 On a few of the homes, some of them are paying as high as $10,000 and $15,000.
Oh, man. Don't hit me with them negative waves so early in the morning.
Okay. What we're finding is there's an awful lot of abuse going on within the city of Kawartha Lakes by the council, by the mayor, by the staff. And enough's enough, eh, Doug?
Yeah. We even have a situation here, June 16th, 2022. Of course, the town's trying to find ways that they can find revenue. This is the CAT bylaw. That's another scam bylaw. Basically, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to come revenue of $20 and $30 for domesticated cats. Now, a domesticated cat has no threat to the public. It's within the confining borders of somebody's home, and there is no issues. Why would somebody pay a licensing fee for something that is within the containment of their own home or within the private means of their own home? On the basis of a feral cat, there is no owner to a feral cat, so how do you charge? So basically, I guess the town has figured that out, and they want to charge the public for a domesticated cat. Now, one thing that I would suggest is that they put a few cats around City Hall, it might get rid of some of the rats.
Some pretty big rats in there, eh?
Yes.
Like, I mean, some pretty big rats in City Hall. The other issue is, too, that rats are actually, or I should say, cats are actually beneficial. Okay, these stray cats.
Very beneficial.
Predatory felines. These two have been mortal enemies for thousands of years.
The cat is a very good predator. It's a killing machine. It can get all kinds of rodents and birds, and normally is very, very efficient at killing these guys, and rats would normally be quite terrified.
I remember them taking a whole bunch out to the dump,
Exactly.
you know, and using them as rodent control.
Natural rodent control.
Exactly. So they perform a very useful thing within the community.
So this is actually a municipal dump that you're talking about.
Yes.
So the municipality is using the skill of rat and mouse catchers. I wonder if they're going to be paying the $30 licensing fee.
I think this is, I agree 100%. I think this is another way that they can add another service fee on our tax bill.
And not only that, but they've hired a bunch of staff to walk around and actually license these people. Now, I don't know, they might be like the gun bylaw where we have a situation where it costs more to administrate this than what it's worth.
But you got to think it creates more jobs for the city, right?
And more taxes.
And it builds that. It builds that bureaucracy that they just love building.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like bringing the kingdom home.
Yeah.
You know, all I can say is this is Bill for the Kawartha Insider.
And Doug for the Kawartha Insider. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You are relieved of duty.